So here we're going to be cleaning a set of just one wheel here, using basically almost the entire, well not entire, but the Leno's garage. So here I have their wheel cleaner, which turns purple when it comes in contact with the brake dust. And for the tires and fenders, we're going to be using their all-purpose cleaner, diluted 1:1. And as far as brushes, I'm using, I have multiple brushes, but for this set, I'm going to stick with the wheel willies. I haven't used these in like literally, like at least a year I haven't used these. So I'm just going to see how it works here with this wheel setup. For the fenders, we're going to use this Chemical Guys fender brush here. And for the tires, I ordered this from Leno's garage, but this isn't a Leno's garage specific tire brush, but I ordered it from their website. So I'm going to be using 4 brushes, 2 products. So first step's going to be here just to rinse everything down with the pressure washer. This is a Karcher 1700, not strong at all. So just start off with the rinse. I mean, honestly, that knocked off a lot of the gunk there. So I'm gonna start with the APC. I'm gonna start on the inside of the fenders. Now the color green is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's a nice little color. Now this is a pretty harsh. It's not compared to like your iron remover, but it is a pretty strong smell. So it is advised, like, don't be around kids, or don't overly do it. So like this one, I have 0 clearance with this fender essentially. So I'm gonna bring this back out because it's basically stuck. And on this one, I want to stick with the wheel willies. So if you have the easy detail brush like I have here, you could use this to do this. But I just want to see if I can get it with the wheel willy first. So let me spray a little bit more in here, and let me see if I can use I guess I have to use a small one. Now these wheel willies, the reason why I don't like them, or I don't use them as much, is because although they are soft, the problem is they're soft, so they don't have as long fingers, basically, like they're the bristles. So you have to stay super in close contact with whatever you're cleaning to make them effective. Whereas with the easy detail brushes, I mean, even comparing the small to the small, like the fingers, the bristles of the brush can reach much farther. And not have to be so close to the actual surface that they're cleaning, like the actual core of it, for it to still get a good cleaning. And rinse that off. I mean, it has its limitations, definitely, so I'm gonna bail with the wheel willy. And I'm gonna focus a little bit more with the easy detail brush. Try not to get it on the paint, but since there's so little clearance here, you kind of have to give and take a little bit. Yeah, so right now I would literally just get a towel. The clearance is pretty small on this fender here, and there's still a liner of dirt and debris here. So make sure you're getting it with the pressure washer in itself. And then if needed, which that knocked off most of it, spray some APC or whatever you're using to clean your fenders, and then literally just work this inner edge right here. And then see, there's still a lot of gunk in there because it's in a tight, odd space you can't really reach to. Take the fender. And there we go. So now let's move on to the tire. Still using the 1:1. more. And rinse. So now let's step on over to the wheels now, and I'm going to be using the Leno's wheel cleaner. So I'm going to spray pretty liberally just because I don't really use this cleaner, and you know, it's just here, so make it a bit more entertaining for you guys. Let it sit there for a little bit, let it react with the brake dust. And to be honest, there's not much reaction going on. There's some on the brake discs there, but other than that, there's some in the inner wheel barrel. But because we rinsed most of the brake dust off, there's not much going on here. There's a very little bit here and there, but it's nothing to really, you know, get excited about. So now let's see if this big one fits, and it does not. It does not clear this one, or okay, it actually does. So we'll go with this one. As you can see, the fibers are coming off. I don't know if it gets teared up after time, or that just happened right. I literally have not used this in like over a year, so I don't know if that just happened right now. Now they are superiorly soft compared like to the Easy Detail brush. Not that those really harm much, but if you just want to compare soft to soft, the Easy Detail brush that's taken, obviously that's not going to clear at all where the brake caliper is at. So that's when you switch on over to the smaller one, and let's see if it fits there. It does not. Do I have a smaller wheel willy? I think there's one more smaller one. Okay, here's the smallest wheel willy that they have in that set of 3, at least when I bought it like so many years ago. So this one does clear perfectly. So you could manage these wheels with just the wheel willy set. There's been times where like I just couldn't do it with this one. Like I have to use the Easy Detail brush for clearance purposes. But because it's also straight and it doesn't really curve, then it makes it a little bit more difficult sometimes. Because for instance, the Adams Polishes one, because it's at a 45-degree angle, it makes it so much easier to get behind that spoke, so much easier compared to the ones that are just straight. So that's something to keep in mind. And just because it's been sitting there for quite a bit of time, I'm gonna rinse it off. I'm gonna respray. There's a few areas that I have to touch up behind the spokes. Again, the wheel willy can get it done. It just takes a bit more time because it's a straight, you know, wheel brush and there's no angle to it. But with this one, those areas behind the wheel spoke, I mean, they get taken care of absolutely no problem when you have a 45-degree or angled brush, I should say. I don't know if it's exactly 45 degrees. And for the faces, this is as easy as it gets. You can do it with a singular brush like this. Don't forget the brake calipers. I'm gonna rinse off this brush and do the wheel face. Now again, you could do this brush, and because this is a really small, like 15-16 inch wheel, it does not take almost any type of effort to clean this wheel with any brush, to be honest. But if you wanted to speed up the process, then you could use a board series brush like this and just cover more real estate. Now you may want to do this like and just do one a good pass and see how much you can get, and then come back with the smaller brush and see what all you have to touch up, like the exact corners and stuff. But this one will get you the wider areas done you can finish the wider areas or the bigger areas quicker, like that. Rinse it off, and then where needed, you just come back with your smaller brush and say, okay, I need to touch up right there, and touch up yada yada here and there, and these small spots and whatever, and then that's my preferred method. Is do the big areas with the bigger brush, do the smaller areas with the smaller brush. Now with the wheel willy, it'll be hard to get the brake calipers like thoroughly with just the wheel willy themselves, because with the easy detail brush, then you can really fit it in there, and the bristles will really get into the grooves, into the tight areas, and give it a thorough cleaning, which the wheel willy would not be able to do. And it depends, like some wheels you can get through the entire wheel setup with just the wheel willies, but my preferred brush is always going to be the easy detail brushes because it's more versatile. I get to depend on it more. And there we go. So I mean, overall, the performance of the cleaners were well. The all-purpose cleaner does have a bit of a harsh smell, so just be cautious of that. It was diluted 1-to-1, but you know, overall, it did well. It didn't really have that foaming. Maybe I didn't spray enough, but it didn't really have that much foam action once you started scrubbing. I'm not too big on that, but I know a lot of you are. And the wheel cleaner did great. Again, not the best example, so I'm not going to hold to it that's saying this one didn't work, because there wasn't much brake dust on there anyhow, and it's a super small wheel, so you know, not much going on. But overall, I mean, the main thing here was the wheel willies. It's hard to do it. I don't really use them that often. This is the first time using them in a year. I stick with the easy detail brushes and with the Adams wheel willies because of the angled, because of the angle that they have on their brushes. And here it is, giving time for the wheel and tire to dry. The tires came out great. There's the cleaner did its job. Wheels as well. After it dried, there's still some gunk there that I have to touch up on the what's this called? Oh wow, I forgot what it's called. And then the inner fenders as well, I need to touch them up again, just because after seeing them dry out, and sometimes they're either cleaned, they just need to be conditioned to get some life back into them, or they need to be touched up again. You have to inspect that. Wow, it's overly exposed. You have to inspect that for yourself. But here we are done, and we're good to go. So if you have any comments, questions, concerned about the tools, about the products, about the process, leave those in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next one.